You know, you never really know. Whenever you get a call or a text from Brian Pigman Quaka, sometimes it's exciting, sometimes it's not. This time I'm excited because we're not going to our place. We're gonna meet him and his crew at the Broken O Ranch, a place I've heard a lot about. I've heard they're great people. We're gonna get up there and meet them, see what we're getting into on this trip.
Condition, lights out, stomping all competition. My utmost to his highest, it gets no flyer. We set the mainframe on fire. Cold red for the lead from the pedal. I push to the metal, the dust never settles. F5 level, kick up the bass and the treble. Cause faith, that's a rebel. I can show you the devil. I blaze a trail like the rays from tail light sound, shaking the ground like earthquakes and hail might. Someday I'll die, but not tonight. Excuse me while I light up the sky.
One thing cool that Chad and I usually are able to do every year is hunt with Pigman. You know, it's always a challenge trying to get our schedules to work out so we can find the time to hunt together. In this case, we couldn't get a time ironed out, and actually Brian reached out to us and said, hey, is there any way that you guys can come hunt with us or at least do some sportsman and outfitter setups on this ranch that I'm going to be going to in a couple weeks? And we said, definitely, let's try to make this happen.
Well, quite frankly, it sucks that I'm not on this trip, and I know what the reason is. Scott's mad because I always go hunting without him, and I go try to kill more hogs, and you know how us guys are competitive and stuff. So he got with Pigman, unbeknownst to me, and planned a trip without me.
They got big deer, they got all kind of exotics, and the reason we're going to be going is they got a hog problem, a big hog problem. You know, coming into this trip, we knew that we weren't going to be here very long, just 2 to 3 days. Really, our main goal is going to be, let's do some setups for them with the outfitters and the sportsman lights. We're trying to minimize noise, we're trying to minimize scent, and we're trying to get this done and get out of there so the area can settle a little bit. I don't have high hopes really for hunting on this trip, but if the pigs are coming in at all, we're going to go give it a shot.
I'm good. Got his boots all shined up, ready. Y'all are holed up. 1 hour and 22 minutes late.
1 hour and 22 minutes late?
Yeah.
I thought we were early.
Whose truck
We
is
had
that?
to deal with all the fog. You know.
That's your pimp truck?
Yeah, that's it.
So
That's
let me
that's
introduce
new
you to the
old
folks.
Terry
Terry Booker, Scott Yard.
Nice to meet you, sir. Nice to meet you. This is
Chicken
Miss Lisa
man
Booker.
over there. That's Miss Lisa.
That's the boss.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
This place is immaculately groomed. It's nice. This is my favorite place in the world to come and hunt. We're going to go down here and get y'all set up in the hotel and get your gear offloaded and see what you brought for product, and then we're going to make a plan and take off. How you like the rig there?
Love it.
That is a mobile pension.
That is awesome right there. Wow, that reminds me of the Africa days.
Exactly. Let's get y'all offloaded.
All right. We just got done doing as many setups as we could with the sportsman and outfitter lights. We had some dinner, got our bellies full, think the feeders go off about 10 o'clock on this ranch. So Pigman's already got a spot picked out where they had some pictures last few nights of some hogs. Terry's got a spot that he feels confident about that he wants us to go try. We're gonna be about 100 yards back on this setup. So hey, we got the rifles. I mean, I'm not feeling real confident about what we can see because we have been driving around the ranch all day doing these setups, but fingers crossed, you never know. This property is packed with blacktail, beautiful blacktail bucks. We saw some rams today. I know they have fallow deer, whitetails. They got a little bit of it all out here. We're looking for the hogs tonight. I know Brian's been getting some pictures of hogs here. We think they're gonna come in a little later. And we'll be ready with them. We'll be ready for them because we got the outfitter that'll go off, and then the sportsman's on there too, so it's a cool spot. We're sitting for a while, not much happening, no hogs, but then we hear a shot. And I know it's got to be Pigman because there's no one else with a rifle on the property right now besides us.
Okay, as soon as it turns broadside.
Okay, I can see him good. So you shoot whenever you have the shot.
Okay.
That's all we do is let the kid do 100%.
I knocked him down. The light, it's like gradually gets bright, and then when it got it the brightest, I could see him, and it finally turned broadside, and I held it dead on him, and I mean, I smacked him hard. I wish he fell over dead right there, but I can tell you, this is, see, I'm waiting on my 4x12 Freedom, and this is a 2x7, and at 200 yards at night, 7's not enough. I don't think that pig will be far. We'll just have to go down there and see, and that's it, man. Booker's coming, he heard the shot, so.
Well, you know, if there's one thing I know about Pigman, he does not like snakes, not even remotely. I mean, the last time he came to our place, I heard his truck going back and forth and spinning out, doing all kinds of stuff, and they were killing a snake in the road. They're afraid they're gonna stumble upon it one night hunting or something. So if there's snakes in the area where he thinks they might have went, he's not gonna recover that hog. I can't blame the guy. I won't go after those hogs either if I think I'm gonna get snake bit.
So, I mean, knocked the crap out of him. He fell down right there, and then they just went right through that tree and then went down the hill. But man, when you get down in there, you're right against that cliff that we shot from, essentially.
It's just too rocky and hot, man.
So
The
let's,
snakes are-
I think Dub must have bumped
Oh,
him.
I know he did. I heard the commotion.
Well, I thought
before
that was you falling.
Well, right before I fell.
So we're gonna try to come down in the morning and somewhere where we can see and see if we can find him. We do, we do. We don't, we don't. Only reason we're here is knocking pigs down. Give me my flashlight back. Let's go. I ain't stepping on no snake.
Look, we didn't get a hog, but we had a great sit, had a lot of fun. Just really a great trip, from the accommodations to the food to Lisa and Terry, Booker and Dub. We got a lot of their setups done with the outfitters and sportsmen. But now, after talking to Brian, he's like, look, Scott, let us get a red outfitter. We're gonna go to our place, and Dap's gonna do a setup, and he'll put the red outfitter out. He's got a spot that he wants to set this outfitter up in, and look, maybe they'll get a hog that way.
He's pretty good right there. On the perimeter. Yeah, no, there he is.
I think I did too. Should have given it to him right on the shoulder blades or behind the shoulder. And it popped him. I heard the meat pop. And he shot out of there. Of course, man, it was all jacked up tight. You know how it is. Elusive Wildlife, you got it going on, man. You lit that hog up just like it was daylight. And I was able to put a good shot on him. I think he run through them dead cedars over there. But anyway, we're not gonna go in there and push him. Can't see him right in there, just 25, 30 yards in, so we're out here for the night and let him lay. To the La Casa. I got this big old hog last night with Elusive Wildlife lights, and my God, what else can you say? This hog proves it to you that he got this big by coming out after dark, and nobody's smart enough to have an Elusive Wildlife light to kill these hogs. Matt, let's get this baby loaded up and get him out of here. I'm gonna do me a shoulder mount with this hog. He deserves it.
Brian says it all the time, how great of a shot Dap is, and I know that's true. Hey, look, I'm still in rifle mode, so Chad and I are gonna be able to go to the ranch at our place in the hill country. I'm taking the 308 AR, and I'm hoping to lay a hog down. Chad and I got a great spot picked out. The feeder's going off at 11 o'clock at night. We're gonna be sitting 100 yards back in a setup that my dad and I made, actually. I have the AR-10, the 308. It's definitely ready to bark, and I can definitely lay a hog down at that distance with this rifle. Dropped that hog in his tracks. He's not going anywhere. Oh man, we only had 2 nights to hunt. This is our last night. We just made it happen. That's a good boar. That's a good hog. Huh. Oh, you gotta love it when the hog doesn't go anywhere. No tracking required. But look, Chad and I bow hunt so much. On this trip, let's put the bows down. We're gonna be at 100 yards on these setups, on these hogs. Bust out the rifle. I got the AR-10, the 308. I love that caliber. It puts the hogs down, and as you see, it put this one down no problem. It's a good hog. We're gonna take it back to camp. Wish we had more time, but at least we shot this one. That's awesome. That was an awesome hunt. It's always fun with Brian, Pigman, Quokka. We had a great time on this trip. Broken O Ranch, Lisa and Terry Booker, great people. From the wildlife that we saw, the deer, the exotics, the problem that they have with the hogs, I wish we could have helped them even more, but we did help them. We got them all set up for next time.
On today's show, Chad and Scott are hanging out with Pigman at the Broken O, and they're trying to get on some hogs. It's a great episode, so much fun hanging out with Pigman. But, you know, we learn in today's episode that a lot of our success or failure has a lot to do with the advanced things that we do before a hunt. The ability to get on a piece of property in advance and learn what the animals are doing and set up and be able to prepare for the hunt that's coming. And so we all know this, right? The success of our hunt is largely determined by what we did way before the hunt. Scouting is important. But you know, it's not only true in hunting, but as a pastor, I can tell you that it's also true in life. The Bible tells us that we all have an eternal soul, right? We have a body, but we have an eternal soul that's going to live forever somewhere. We know these bodies won't, but this soul will. And the Bible tells us that what happens in eternity, how our eternity goes, has a lot to do with what we did well before eternity in this life. It's what we did with Jesus. It's what we did with our relationship with God. The Bible says that God came to make a way. He sent Jesus to make a path, to clear the way, so that you and I could know that no matter what, that our eternities are safe and secure in Jesus Christ. And the only way that that goes well is by what we do before eternity happens. Just like a successful hunt happens by our predetermined scouting and what we did before the hunt, our eternities are going to go by what we did with Jesus here in this life. He loves you. He cares about you. You don't have to be perfect to come to Him. He invites you to come just as you are. And if you'd like to know more about a personal relationship with God through His Son, Jesus Christ, I want to encourage you to go to elusivewildlife.com and click on that Moment of Truth tab.
Cut me like those words you throw.